Episode 4. The Calm Before the Storm. Promise or Peril? The country was filled with dreams. The pumpkin president-elect stood ready to take power. His supporters cheered, their voices rising like thunder. He's back. He'll fix everything. They shouted, waving flags high. To them, his bright orange face was a sign of a new dawn. He was their hero, the one who would bring back the greatness they longed for. But not everyone shared their joy. In the shadows, others watched in silence. They remembered broken promises and selfish choices. They knew the pumpkin president-elect's words were sweet like honey, but they often masked bitter truths. Worry spread among these quiet watchers as they wondered what price the country would pay this time. On the day his victory was confirmed, the pumpkin president-elect stood before a massive crowd, his smile wide and confident. His voice boomed through the air. "We will make this country great again. Jobs will return. The world may fear us, but we are strong." His supporters roared with approval. They believed every word, their hopes soaring higher with each promise. But something about his speech was unsettling. His words painted a bright picture, yet he shared no map to get there. His promises felt hollow, like an empty box wrapped in shiny paper. Some whispered doubts to one another. How could he help everyone when his plans seemed to favor the rich? "It's all part of my plan," the pumpkin president-elect said. But what was this plan? And who would it truly help? While the pumpkin president-elect's voice echoed in the streets, his team worked in secret rooms. They crafted a budget reconciliation package, a plan that could shape the country's future for years. This package was no ordinary plan. It was a shortcut, a way to skip the usual rules and make big changes quickly. The team used it to secure tax cuts for the wealthiest people and powerful companies. These cuts would save them millions, but for regular people, families, workers, and the poor, there was little to gain. Behind closed doors, deals were made. The rich would get richer, and those struggling the most would be left to fend for themselves. Far from the shining speeches and secret deals, we the people was coming together. They had seen enough. The pumpkin president-elect's promises felt like traps, and they refused to be caught. Their goal was clear: fairness, justice, and a future where everyone had a chance. On January 18th, they would march to the Capitol. They would stand where the powerful stood, their voices demanding to be heard. This was no ordinary march. It was a warning, a line in the sand. The people were tired of being ignored, and they were ready to fight for what was right. On the surface, everything seemed peaceful. The pumpkin president-elect smiled, his supporters cheered, and the days passed quietly. But beneath the calm, the air buzzed with unease. People who didn't trust him were waiting, watching, and preparing for what they felt was inevitable. The plans for the January 18th march grew stronger each day. Soon, the world would see whether the pumpkin president-elect could deliver on his promises, or if the people would rise and push back against his rule. The storm was coming. The skies darkened with tension, and a heavy stillness settled over the land. Everyone was waiting, holding their breath. The calm would not last. The storm would break. To be continued